Hey, what up, y'all? It's your girl, Kelly J, and welcome to Weight Loss Journeys. Right here is the spot where you get to share your journey, and I also get to share mine with you. As y'all already know, I've been battling with my weight for a while, and now I'm on a new phase of my weight loss journey, and I'd like to share it with you. However, I don't want to go on this journey alone, so I'm inviting each and every one of you to come on board with me as I go through this process, and let's help each other out. What do you say? Hey y'all, it's your girl Kelly J,
Kill.
and I'm straight from the D. Ain't nobody in my section going harder than me. Ain't no waiting for the top, cause I'm steady climbing the tree. Pleasant Grove to Oak Cliff, yeah, you know where we be. This is my show, and I got it under control. Podcast to interviews, yeah, we doing it all. Got the tea for whoever, ain't no Lipton involved. So when you got it poppin', girl, you know who to call. I'm the realest of the real, I'm just stating the facts. I got it out the mud, and I put the team on the back. Try to tell me I could never, so I did it and laughed. You know it's my turn, yeah. Kelly J on the map, y'all. What up, y'all? We are back. We are back with another video. We're back live with Kelly J TV. Welcome, y'all. Welcome. Make sure y'all are commenting, liking, and subscribing to the channel, y'all. Always make sure y'all like and comment to the channel, because I don't want to make sure y'all can come back every week, Monday and Thursday at 7 p.m. right here where y'all can get all the knowledge, all the tool base y'all need. We're going to start talking on these tips. And y'all, let me tell y'all, what we got coming, I really hope y'all are ready. And I hope y'all are ready for everything. Because, baby, we're going to be spilling some tea. We're going to be serving that tea. Heck, we may even tell you how to make it. Who knows? But one thing about it, y'all are definitely going to love what's coming with Kelly J TV. But y'all, today, I am truly honored to have this young lady on. I met her through a good friend of mine, Shaky. Shout out to you, Kendra. Kendra, for you. She has, I really don't even understand how we even met. It was just being on the post, getting to connect, and I started to learn a lot of things that she was doing out in Gainesville, especially during the time of George Floyd, when everything took place. That's when I really started paying attention to her. And I was just like, oh, she really doing stuff. And I've seen her work with the community out in Gainesville. So she's located in Gainesville, and I've seen her work with the community. They were able to get the Confederate statue down, and she'll tell y'all more about it. I ain't gonna tell y'all everything. I'm gonna let her be the one to tell y'all everything. But without further ado, I would like to welcome onto Kelly J TV, Miss Jenika Ragsdale. Welcome, my love. How are
Hey,
you?
love. It's good. And it's Jenika.
Say it again.
Jenika.
Jenica.
Yeah,
Well,
everybody,
listen,
it's okay. It's okay.
listen. I listen. At least, I mean, I
You're
wasn't
close.
close, but I would have gave it Jenica.
You know what? That's the one I get the most. The most, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna call you Jay for short.
That's what it works.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm really good today.
That's good. So, why don't you tell everybody about you? Because I didn't want to go into all the details. I wanted to highlight you and you to be able to let people know who you are and exactly what it is you're doing out in Gainesville.
So I grew up in Dallas. I'm originally from Dallas. I went to school in DeSoto. Grew up in Okay. Sorry, I got a phone call and it messed
Oh,
everything up.
it's okay. I wanted to
It's
make sure. I was like,
all
yeah,
right.
you're still here.
It's all right. So yeah, I grew up in Oak Cliff a lot. My family lived there. That's where my dad was from. Um, and about 12 years ago, we moved to Gainesville. And it's not what I'm used to. Uh, It's very conservative. I'm not. And around the time of George Floyd, there was a memorial that was put on by some good friends of mine. And it was good. It was nice. There was a huge turnout. There was some opposition. But all in all, it was good. And then a few weeks later, a few people started to protest the fact that we had 2 Confederate statues in this town. One on the courthouse lawn and one in the biggest park in town. They first started just a few people just sitting outside the courthouse with signs, just making their voices heard. I started to protest the first protest that we had, which was July 1st of last year. I will never forget that day. I had my daughter with me. She was 16 at the time. She's gay. So I have a big fight for her. And I walked around the side of the They're just trying. They're trying.
They say we gotta get you. We gotta get you. Tell them to tune in to Kelly J TV.
Right.
That's what they missing out on.
Right.
They supposed to be watching.
Let me fix this. Okay, I think I fixed it. Okay. So I walked around the side of the courthouse, and I've never seen so many guns in my life. There was a group from Montague County who said, which is the next county over from, who said that they got word that we were going to pull the statue down. That was never our intentions. And so they brought a show of force, as they said. And that's what they said in their permit to the city to be there. And the city approved that permit. I walked around the corner. I saw those guns. My heart sank, not for me, but because my child was with me. Didn't stop us, though. We marched that day. My daughter had a sign that said Black Lives Matter. A grown woman got in her face, screamed, "All lives matter, honey." Without skipping a beat, my daughter said, "No lives matter till Black Lives Matter." And that woman got angry. And before I could even do anything as a mother, our people made a wall in front of my child. I knew right then and there, this is what we were meant to do. These were our people. They didn't know us, and they still protected my child. We went to every protest every week. There were things said by the counter protesters, words that I won't repeat. We hope they step out of line so we can shoot them. Half of them were drunk. Cops didn't do anything. The cops stood with their backs to the men with the guns and faced us with weapons. We had signs, cardboard.
Yeah, I actually have a couple of pictures that I can show. For instance, this one. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. History has its eyes on you. Could you explain this picture to me?
I believe we were listening to somebody speak. That was my husband on one side and my friend on the other side of me. We were listening to stories from the community, the things that people have dealt with in this community, the racial injustice that people face in this community. Gainesville, a few years ago, was threatened by the NAACP because people of color were arrested for small crimes far more than white people. So they had to check themselves. Like small, tiny marijuana crimes, you were getting years. It was ridiculous.
Wow.
I've heard stories that Black people in this town do not leave their homes after 9 p.m. They do not go outside after dark. They don't shop here. They will drive to Denton to shop. That's what we deal with here. We did get one Confederate monument removed. The which one? I had to write it down because there's two. The city council are the ones that decided to take the one in the park down. Now that park at one time was a whites only park. That Confederate statue stood for 113 years. Gainesville was not desegregated until 1964. So that statue stood as a reminder that people like you and me were not welcome in that park. We would not have been able to go and play on the nice equipment or in the pool. There was a park across the street that was for people of color. That was taken down when Gainesville was desegregated, but the plot of land still stands there and it is still technically a park. I don't want to go to a park with a blatant reminder that I was not welcome there, that my children were not welcome there. They have taken it down. I actually did an Instagram live with Beto O'Rourke,
which is where you went and you guys ended up saging there. I saw that live.
We did.
Yes. It was very powerful watching you guys do that on live. Like, I was sitting there watching it and I was just like, I was in tears. Like, I started crying. I was just like, wow, like in amazement at that point. The
week after the Instagram live, they took it down. They left the base, but it got broken in the process of taking the statue down. So they had to take that down too. So it's just dirt now. They're replacing it with a unity statue. It's got a star and like hands of all colors holding it. And there'll be an inscription, the Pledge of Allegiance, a quote by Martin Luther King Jr., a quote by Helen Keller. It's progress. There is still the one on the courthouse steps, though. That's the one we really want down. You don't get fair justice with that hovering above you. The inscription on it reads, "No nation rose so white and fair, none fell so pure of crime." Those are the words inscribed on this statue. That was placed by the Daughters of the Confederacy. So we still have work to do, and we will continue to work. We will continue to fight. The Commissioner's Court is who we have to convince to remove it. There's already been one open session where people were allowed to go in and speak, and they still voted to keep it up. So until those commissioners are replaced, it's going to be a hard fight. Yeah. It's going to be a really hard fight.
So now, what's next for you guys at this point? I know it's still trying to push with this. So how can other people be a part to even help this be as powerful as it needs to be so that they can? That's something that I wouldn't want to go to the courthouse. And knowing that as African Americans or people of color in general that live in Gainesville are afraid to leave their house past 9, most times I'm not getting back home till 12 because I'm working. I would be in fear. I can only imagine what they are having to endure. What you guys are having to endure. Even your children, like,
I'm scared.
I'm really speechless right now because I've seen what you do on social media and I'm speechless right now. Like I said, we've talked several times. I've seen it. I just didn't know it was that bad.
It is that bad here. It is. I'm scared every time my son leaves the house. He's brown.
Yeah.
Every time he leaves, I constantly text him, constantly make sure he's okay.
Yeah.
And he's 14, so he wants his freedom. He wants to be able to go out and do the things that he likes to do. And his girlfriend is Black. So, when they're together, that scares me too. What's going to happen to the two of them? Are they going to come home safe?
Mm-hmm.
Are the police going to stop them for walking down the road?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the way it is here. The police are not on our side at all. They haven't been. I watched 3 of my friends go to jail for walking in the road during a protest.
So let me ask you, there was another picture I got,
Mm-hmm.
and it says, "We are the ones we've been waiting for." Give me more background on this.
If we don't stand up and do something, nobody will. It's not going to happen if we're scared. If we're too scared to go out and do it, we have to keep fighting. No matter how many guns are put in our face or how many threats that we get, we have to keep going because we have to make it better for the next generation.
Now, I want to take a moment back because outside of this, you deal with recovery. You have your whole everything that you're dealing with outside of just this part of it, mental health wise. Um, First off, commending you for your recovery.
Thank you.
That's major. Anytime anyone has any type of addiction, no matter what it is, I think the moment that you can say that you're in recovery and you're in recovery, when you can say I'm in a recovery for a month, I feel like you can make it 2 months and then 3 months. And before you know it, you're 20 something years in and you're like, hey, I've been doing this longer than longer, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let the people know about your recovery and just what you've done to help cope with it. And to be, even during this time, how has that affected your mental?
So I have 46 days today. I had 2 years in the past. Um, it stemmed from losing my dad. I have PTSD from losing my dad. I watched him die. That was the hardest thing I've ever dealt with in my whole life. And pills kind of numbed me to that. I still had to be a mom. I still had to be a wife. I had to make sure that everybody else was okay. I did 9 days inpatient in 2015. That got me clean. Then I had 2 years. And then my last pregnancy really messed with my back. My body was not made to carry children. And I've had 4. So it kind of just broke down. I went to a doctor who was at a pain clinic that I had previously been dismissed from for being an addict, for going inpatient. He was an addict himself. They found him overdosed in his office 2 years ago. So he didn't care. And he gave me a prescription. And at first it was easy to manage. And then he bumped me up to oxycodone. And it ended up taking over my life. Like I was literally living my life for when I was going to take a pill. I needed it to be able to function or I was going to be sick. 46 days ago, I woke up and decided I didn't want to do it anymore. I was tired. I was tired of waking up sick. I was tired of feeling like a failure of a mother. Even though I know I was a good mom. I've always been a good mom. My kids have always been taken care of. But I felt like I would be a better mom to them if I was sober. And that's what drives me every single day when I wake up. For them to know that their mom can fight through this. Because addiction runs really strong on both sides of the family. Both of my parents were alcoholics. My dad was a drug addict. That's why I lost him. He had cirrhosis of the liver, Hep C, and liver cancer. I don't want my children to see me die like I saw my dad die. My dad went from a healthy man, and then in 3 weeks he was gone. I watched him just completely fade into nothing. And I do not ever want them to see that. Losing my dad was really hard on my older 2. So I know that I don't want them to do that. And I want them to see my mistakes. My younger 2 are 7 and 5, so they don't understand yet. But my older 2 are 17 and 14, and they do understand. And I've talked to them through this whole process They saw me sick because I was sick, but I fought through it. And I have done things in the last 46 days that I never imagined possible. And that's what keeps me going. I can do this. I can be all of the things that I want to be sober.
Yeah.
And so I went through the sick. I'm so much better now. My pain level has drastically decreased because I do have issues. I also have endometriosis, which is very painful.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a hysterectomy. I've had my ovaries removed, but it's still there, and I can still feel it when I do too much.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like it was before. It's manageable. Yeah, Tylenol, Advil, I can manage it.
Yeah.
So I've learned that I can fight through these things. I can be the person that I want to be.
Yes, you can.
And I'm doing it. And I want other people to see that you can do this. It's not easy.
Right.
You feel like you're dying.
Right.
But if you can just think, okay, tomorrow is going to be better, that's how you get through. And that's what I did every day. I woke up and I was like, okay, I feel bad now, but tomorrow it's going to hurt less. Tomorrow I can do this. Tomorrow I can do that. And I did it. I did all of those things.
We actually have someone saying, congratulations. Well, my mom, congratulations on your 46 days clean, Lady J. One day at a time.
Thank you. Yes, one day at a time. That's the best advice anybody ever gave me. They said, take it one day at a time. And if you can't do that, take it 1 hour, 1 minute, whatever you have to do to get through the day. That's how you do it.
Well, I ain't gonna like that. Listen, I guess we can actually, well, I want to keep talking, but I ain't gonna lie. I'm really like, this is the first time, if you watch my shows, I always have stuff to talk about, but I'm really like, I'm still really mind blown at just everything y'all are having to endure. And then to know through all of this, you took your life back. You said no more. Your 46 days.
Thank you. Thank you.
Like, I am really proud of you. Now, I know you said in this 46 days you've done some stuff that you've never done before. You want to share with us what some of those things are?
So I did the whole Beto O'Rourke thing, which was amazing. He is the sweetest, kindest man I have ever met. But like, you don't even think of him as a politician because of the way he speaks to you. He speaks to you like he's known you for years, like you're his best friend. And that was just amazing. I planned our city's first ever Pride event.
Yes.
It was amazing to have this event, and we threw it together in just a couple of weeks. So we didn't know how many people were going to show up. We didn't know. It was amazing. The turnout was amazing. And to see these kids running around with flags on their backs, their bi flags or their trans.
Now we're back.
Are we back? Can you see me?
Yes.
Okay. So these kids running around being who they are in a place where they feel safe, where they can be who they are.
Yeah.
That meant I literally cried on my way home from the event. It was 12 hours in the Texas heat. It was hot. I was tired, but it was so worth it. It was so worth it to see these kids be who they want to be. My daughter grew up gay here, and it wasn't easy. The phone calls from her hiding in the bathroom, crying because people were so mean to her. Mommy, please come pick me up. Okay. Every time. I think kids deserve mental health days too. Yeah. They're little people with big feelings, and they don't know how to express them, just like we don't.
Yeah.
So to have this event and be able to show these kids that there are people here that they're safe around.
Yeah.
That meant the world to me. And we've decided we're going to do this every year. We got a little pushback. Some of the churches didn't like it.
Of course.
People started rumors,
Yeah,
trying to
the
scare
typical.
people away.
The typical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But we kept going.
Yeah.
And it was one of the best things that I've ever been involved in. And to know that I was part of that process, the first ever, is just amazing.
Yeah.
Like
I'm sure it is. Like, I would love. I don't know if you've seen the show. It's Caramel KP. She has I think it's like a organization or a group thing that they do with young children of color um, who are in the LGBTQ community. And I'm gonna connect you guys. I think that'll be
uh,
something great.
yeah,
And that way, so it's not just once a year. You guys can do this often.
yeah,
I think that's something. Having so many people have their theories on the or their thoughts on the LGBTQ community. My thought is this: love who you love, be happy with who you want to be happy with. What you do ain't got.
that's right.
It don't cost me nothing.
Mm-hmm.
My feelings ain't hurt. I
Mm-hmm.
ain't got to go through the relationship. I ain't got to love who you love.
That's right.
Be with who you want to be with.
That's
Kelly J just don't care. If you're happy, be happy.
that's what I told my daughter when my daughter came out. She was 11,
Mhm.
and I told her, "That's great. I don't care who you love, as long as you're happy.
Exactly.
That's all. As a mom, that's all I can ask for is for
Yeah.
you to be happy." But I did tell her, not the whole world is not as kind as
Exactly.
your mother, so you're gonna have to be prepared to deal with those things. And
So
she's become one of the most outspoken at the protest. I have to hold her back instead of her being there to hold me back. I have to hold her back. She has zero self-preservation. She will get in your face. She will tell you what's up. I love that kid. She is so strong, and her boyfriend is trans. So in this community, it scares me. I'm afraid when we go out that somebody is going to say something and I'm going to end up in jail, and I don't want to go to jail.
Don't go to jail.
But
And I want to have to spend no bail money, girl. Come on.
right, that's what I'm saying. 4 kids, we ain't got money for bail.
Exactly.
No,
You got to pay for their education.
right?
Got to go to college.
So that scares me, and that's why I wanted to do the event to hopefully change some hearts and change some minds. To know that these kids are just being who God made them to be. They just want to be happy and accepted.
Exactly.
And if this event can change anybody's mind, then our work is done. That's
and
what
I
we're
want to
there
touch
for.
on something because a lot of times we hear people say it's forced on our children or it's forced on them. You said your daughter came to you and told you.
Mm-hmm.
That means she already knew.
Oh yeah.
She already had it in her mind.
Mm-hmm.
That it wasn't nothing you put on her. It wasn't. First off, in the world, we see some everything.
Mm-hmm.
We see crackheads on the corner.
Yep.
We see drug dealers here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But does that mean we go in those directions?
Exactly.
So I hate when people say, "Oh, it's forced on them." No, your child knows.
I mean, if that was the case, she would be straight because, most of the media is straight. Most of the TV shows are straight.
Exactly.
So
you really got to search
yeah,
for the gay shows and the gay
I
movies.
love it when there's shows with gay families because
Yeah.
it shows my kids, my little
Mm-hmm.
kids,
Mm-hmm.
that, this is what sister does. This is what,
Mm-hmm.
it, for them, it's a connection.
Mm-hmm.
They're seeing families like their own.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's great for kids to know that it's acceptable,
Mm-hmm.
that it's okay.
Yeah.
Because I knew my daughter was gay long before she ever told me.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a mom feeling. I knew.
Mm-hmm.
And
they say moms always know.
yeah, I knew.
They say moms always know.
She just had this about her, and I knew.
Yeah.
And so for me, it wasn't a surprise, but I know there are a lot of kids that don't get that.
Mm-hmm.
And that kills me.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's nothing that my children can do
right.
that would make me not love them.
Right.
Ever. Right. They are my whole world.
So
all I ever wanted to do in life was be a mom.
Right. So
So
now that you are, you're gonna make sure they know that they're
yes.
loved. So
Hmm.
let me ask you this two-part questions.
Hmm.
To parents who have children of the LGBTQ plus community, what advice could you give them in the case that their children may not have come out to them and they may have that hunch? Like you said, you knew way before. So to the mothers who may be thinking, my child just may be a little different. I don't even call them different. They liking who they like. They're finding who they are.
Hmm.
That's what I call it, finding who you are.
Hmm.
So to the parents out there who are thinking, my child is finding who they are, but I don't understand them, what advice could you give them? And then also for the children who are thinking, should I talk to my parents? Should I not? Is it the right thing to do? Because of the fact your daughter came to you, what advice could you give kids who are thinking about just approaching their parents?
In both circumstances, have an open conversation. You don't have to outright say it, but drop those little hints in that conversation. Say, hey, I saw this today, or, just to get a feel for that conversation. And then if you feel like it's right, say it, ask it, talk to them, let them know, hey, if anybody was ever gay, I'd be okay with it. Or, hey, mom, like, so and so is gay. See what that conversation leads to.
Mm-hmm.
That's my biggest thing with my kids. I talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
I have an interest in what they do. My son is a skateboarder. I don't know anything about skateboarding. I'm not going to get on a skateboard because I'll break every bone in my body.
Right.
But I take an interest in what he likes.
Yeah.
We watch skateboard movies all the time, skateboard videos, things like that, just so he knows that, hey, mom has an interest in me. Mom knows what I like. Just things like that. Take an interest in your kids' lives. That's the most important thing. It does not matter if you understand. It doesn't matter if you like it. Let them know that you're there and you care.
Well, we do have a question for you.
Okay.
So, Lady J, is the group you are working with to get the Confederate statues removed, are you all an organized group from church or just people coming together for a good cause?
We are all people that live in this community. Whether born here, went to school here, or just moved here. We are all people that live here. Contrary to popular belief and what the rest of the town likes to say, they like to say we're all from out of town. We're not. We all live here and we just all want better for our community.
Well, I'm really rooting for you guys, and you already know anything that I can be a part of, tune into, let me know. Please stay up to date. How can people get in touch with you? How can people be a part of what you guys are doing out in Gainesville?
So, PRO Gainesville has a Facebook page and an Instagram.
Okay.
Just look up PRO Gainesville. That's going to have videos from our past protests. Anything that we have to do in the future will be on there. I know a lot of people in the community are itching to protest again. I am. I watched the video from July 1st the other day, and I was just like, oh, I need to be back out there. It's a feeling like no other. I have never had that feeling, that rush, the adrenaline, and just you can feel the kindness from us, not from the other people, from us, the kindness, and everybody just wants our community to be better.
Right.
Yeah.
And it should be. I don't think any of us should ever have to fear leaving our homes. I don't think we should ever fear where we live. Like, your home is your sanctuary. Your home is where you're supposed to have your peace at. And when I can't sit outside or just go down the street or even just with the police officers, if I feel like I can't call you, that's I will definitely be keeping Gainesville and everybody in Gainesville in my prayers, keeping you guys in my prayers. You already know I'm going to stay in contact with you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for coming on to Kelly J TV.
Thank you for having
Greatly appreciate it. And y'all, we have officially finished another episode of Kelly J TV, y'all. thank y'all for tuning in. Big shout out to Lady J for coming through. Greatly appreciate you. I cannot wait to see what else you have in store. Make sure you guys are following PRO Gainesville on Facebook and Instagram. Make sure y'all are staying up to date on everything that they are doing. Should y'all have any questions, she is definitely the person to contact that can definitely assist y'all with more information. And y'all, without further ado, this is another wrap. We have another episode wrapped up. And y'all make sure y'all tune in on Thursday because we will have Arthur and motivational speaker Jose Morales on to discuss about bullying and the program that he has. So y'all make sure y'all tune in on Thursday at 7 p.m. Kelly J TV, y'all. And we're out. Peace. Hey y'all already know when your girl Kelly J coming through, you know I'm coming through with some info and some tea for you. Every time I think of all the time I wasted.
My name is Jenika Blunt. I'm an independent consultant with Paparazzi Accessories, and I.
Hey, so my name is Tad. I've got some advice for you really quick, right? So I've been running movie theaters since 1988.
And I'm stripping. No, I'm playing. I'm like, the only thing is that the only
I'm gonna make a song called Just for Jenny.